Hello, this is Mohamed Sherif. Since 1976, the month of February has been commemorated as Black History Month in the United States. During the month-long period, public and academic institutions, media institutions, and civil rights organizations celebrate the extraordinary contributions of African Americans to the United States. Indeed, African Americans are an indispensable part of the American mosaic. But any discussion of the African American experience will be incomplete without discussing the African continent. For it is from Africa that tens of millions of Black people were brutally captured and transported across the Atlantic into the New World, where they were sold as slaves. Nowhere is the impact of Black history more profound than the tiny West African nation of Liberia. Beginning in 1822, free slaves from the United States began to settle in Liberia under the auspices of the American Colonization Society. They, the free slaves, founded Liberia. Most Liberian historians will erroneously conclude the truth is there were people in Liberia prior to 1822. Those communities were completely ignored and cast aside. So who were these people? The early people of Liberia? Where did they come from? Why did Liberia enjoy prolonged stability until the violent military coup of 1980? Who are the men and women that have ruled Liberia since 1847? These and many more topics are the focus of discussions on Focus on Liberia during this Black History Month. The topics to be discussed during this period will be the early settlement of the land, the second waves of migration, the early republic from 1847 to the early 1920s, the modern republic from the mid-1920s to 1980, post-coup Liberia, and comparative analysis of Liberian presidents from Joseph Jenkins Roberts to George Weah. The following Liberian scholars will discuss the topics aforementioned. Dr. Herbert Brewer, Associate Professor of Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland. Dr. Samuel Ongovu, Lecturer, Morgan State University. Dr. Yan Kuya-Wantaya, Professor Emeritus at Codington University College. Dr. George Claycare, former presidential candidate and professor at the University of West Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia. The public is invited to tune in this Sunday at 5 p.m. and every Sunday at 6 p.m. From February the 3rd to March the 10th. Thanks, and this is Mohamed Sherif.